Hi, I have the pleasure of working with you this week in the media class on Monday, and that is why I'm teaching on the very first day that I'm here, because that's what works out best for you with your class. So today we're just going to take a look at I thought it was kind of a relatable video, and then we're going to show you some different examples and give you a chance to work with a couple people and do some small group activity, and then a quick exit ticket just to kind of give you an overview of what's coming. It's called the Crash Course Media, and I think it's like a 13-part video series that you're going to be viewing. I tried to break it down a little bit by incorporating an ed puzzle. I don't know if any of your teachers have already used that. It just kind of, when I first watched the video, I thought, ugh, this guy is talking really fast. I could tell someone had edited his video and cut out any quiet time that was left in the video, so it sounds like he's kind of rolling through it pretty quickly. So the pauses that I put in some of them are just notes for you to add to your notes. That's what the first 4 pages of your binder are. If you take a look in there on the white binder, that was to make your seat. You'll just need a writing utensil. Yeah, if you put your name on the first page, that's perfect. And then it's actually the way Mrs. McCoy kind of laid it out. You're writing the textbook for this class. So it's personalized to fit you too. So you're welcome to use highlighter or a writing utensil now while we begin this lesson. You can take notes. And then there's a couple parts where I'll insist that you write a few things down just to kind of get it more cemented and clear for you. So it starts off with understanding media literacy. And hopefully some of you realize that you're pretty affluent with types of literacy, of media that are out there. So Instagram. How many people have an Instagram account? And we have a mix of grade levels, so looks like about 90, high 90s. Raise your hand on that one, or some of you just don't like raising your hand. But so here is just like an example of some types of media. Instagram, you can put together
Youth Farmers Market introduced
music, text,
all the way back
images.
to 45, making it Iowa's oldest.
So this one is just basically from the Youth Farmers Market. I just thought it was a cool one how they put it together.
On top of your traditional
Eye-catching.
you'll come across unique finds of handcrafted.
You can interact with the media and most of the types of media that you probably prefer. You can have a say in it. It would be a Snapchat or Instagram.
Market every Saturday.
That just gives you a obviously. Another, how many times have you found yourself just scrolling through reels on Instagram or TikToks? You've wasted 2 hours just what happened in that time. I know I didn't do my media literacy assignment. But those are some that people really like, that are in your age range seems to gravitate towards. Podcasts are, I'm sure you're all familiar with them. Some of you might have even created one or two. I just included that because I think it's kind of cool how, I was in the car thinking, what are some types of media that I can talk about? Well, I was surrounded by media when I was thinking that. The radio, podcasts are always on. This is a free podcast. It's NPR based, but you can listen to it anytime, and you can listen to it through Apple, but you don't need an Apple account to do that because NPR is free public access. It's a really great storytelling app, and news. I know that Mrs. McCoy is going to get more into that, how news stories are like storytelling in a way, and the Moth Radio is a great storytelling app. It kind of gives people a chance to experience and get more, get better at telling stories orally, on the spot with a live crowd. So those are fun to listen to. A lot of times they're really funny, sometimes they make you cry. And it's not even a visual thing. You don't see anything, you're just listening the whole time. So I kind of like that type of media where you just use the auditory part of your listening. And then how many of you watch news, listen to news, or where do you get your news? Do any of you have any sources that you use for news? We're just curious about this. I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I asked her this yesterday when we were driving together. And I was like, do you ever read news or hear news? Where do you hear news? What about you guys? I'm just curious.
At school.
From other people? That was one of her only sole ways, one of her friends that's really kind of more versed with watching news or reading news. Yeah.
Sometimes if the thing pops up on your phone, you don't after.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, how do you avoid it? I get something pops up right here once in a while. Boop, it'll be even just the Dow is down 1.8%. That's what happened yesterday. I was like, well, the news just popped up there. That's news. I mean, even if it's a little one-liner of what's happening in the world. The weather, it's part of the news. Do you look on your phones for weather? You have to know what to wear tomorrow. You gotta look at your phone to see if it's gonna rain or something, be like 95 degrees and humid. So that kind of affects you. Weather's probably one of the things that you really care about. What about like national news? What do you look, like what if you heard about something that happened and you wanted to know more details? You look at TikTok, Google it to find all the details. Google always gives you a few links, but you can always look at the top link, or you can go down to something to make sure that it's like an actual credible source for where the news is coming from. If you ever look for something and you'll notice the word ad next to it, your review, your results. If it says ad, you know that someone's paying for that, so you might want to keep going down a little bit further just so you're not, you know, one of their commodities, like they're selling to you, and you know what it is. And AirDrop, how many people use AirDrop through the day? Just to send funny things that you can video it. What do you use it for?
Send pictures.
Pictures of things, memes,
Yeah.
tip your friends, like real quickly. How many people have an iPhone?
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't send an AirDrop to someone unless they have an iPhone, of course, so that's kind of Lily's like, Mom. Just stop. That's all I know, everybody else probably knows. Okay, so for the first part, I'd like you to just, between the newspaper basket that's here, the magazines over here, and then you can use your Chromebook for this part too. I'd like you to come up with a type of media, anything. So like, for example, I gave you a few examples, like a podcast, there's the news, you can find that on Google, there's news. There could be another, I know it's not that easy to get into like Instagram or TikTok on your Chromebook, but, and do you guys have phones?
Yes.
You can use your phone for this if you need to. Sometimes in media literacy, we'll need our phones because we might have to airdrop something to each other. I airdropped a file of pictures to my daughter, and that's what I was using it for. You're welcome. Yeah, this is a group. You can work with the people at your table, or if you have like a 3-pod, you can go ahead and work with the person there. Or you can move around if you need to. I'd like a couple groups to grab a hands-on. You could do a magazine. There's some media over here. This is newspapers, but it also has some other things.
You're supposed to find news?
You're supposed to find media, any media.
Anything, it can be an article, it can be a meme, it can be something. But it has to be school appropriate because we're here.
Yeah, if you're on your phone, you're.
So yeah, I had to even revise one of my things this morning. I didn't realize it had sounded like another word kind of, but it wasn't very appropriate. So sometimes you don't even notice that.
No.
You're exposed to it separately. Okay, you're only gonna have a couple minutes to do this, so go. Just find one example. When we find the example, we're gonna share it with our partner, like to the class, you're gonna share what you found with your partner, and then you're gonna talk about what that creator, whoever made that, like the author or the person who took the picture or whatever it is trying to share with you. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to make you know something? Are they trying to sell something? Are they trying to make you laugh? What are they trying to do? And then what could you take away from your interaction? Like what would you learn from it? So before you get too into it, I want to show one example with you, okay? So eyes on me, put your pen down. Here's your example. Okay, this is just an example I came up with so you can kind of understand better what I want you to do.
TV show you thought was canceled, then it got picked up by Netflix. It was another man crazy. It's a couple. Because I was like, this is my wife, she's crazy. I get nervous saying, my wife was like, I want to go to Hawaii, and I want to bring the kids. And I was like, whose kids? My one goal was to just not bring. Because you see a kid with a sunburn, you're like, parenting star. You see an adult with a sunburn, you're like, that's an alcoholic. I always feel sorry for the accountants of the billionaires. Because, you know, they were like, you had an amazing year, you made $40 billion. But I fudged the numbers so it looks like you broke even. As long as you lay low and don't draw attention, we should be fine.
Okay, so my example is a comedy trailer for a show on Netflix, Jim Gaffigan. what was the person trying to, when he creates these stand-up comedy routines, what is his goal? Like, what is he trying to do to you? Yeah, he's trying to bring humor to your life. And then what did I take away from this? That's kind of a personal question when you're answering that part of it. What did you get? Did you learn something? Did you, like, I was entertained. So for me, I would say he was trying to be funny, and he was, and he succeeded. Sometimes it won't match up. They're like, this article is clearly trying to inform me, but I do not understand the language they've used, and it doesn't, I'm not getting it at all. The picture's nice, though. I enjoyed the picture. Maybe you'll say that. So when you're doing that slide with your group, you're going to find a piece of media. Could be anything, like what we've given you examples of, and then the message that the creator, the person who made it, was trying to convey to you, and then what, as the reader of the information, the viewer of it, what did you get from it? So, does everyone understand what you're trying to do? Find a piece of media, what the person wanted to create it for, and what you actually got from it, and that might match up.
You're right.
Remember those little Miss books? They're looking at that. Is that what I don't know if it's like sarcastic versions of it? I wore a little Miss shirt. Did you? The sixth grade. Which one? Or the middle school. It just said little Miss. Welcome. Some sort of little, yeah. Colorful. It's a good Halloween. Yeah, it's a do. That would be fun. Even just the shirts with it on.
Yeah. I think you might want to read just the first paragraph again, just so you can see what they're trying to tell you. If they're trying to inform you or surprise you or entertain you. Okay, I'll just give you like 30 more seconds to wrap it up. Mainly, you just have to figure out what they were trying to do. It's two things that you show. Or just kind of agree what you each as a group will share it, and then you'll say, okay, what did that piece of media try to? What was the creator hoping to share, and what did you get from you?
That's disgusting.
So we're so well three. One person can say what you think. One person can say creator. Yeah, you just also and where this source came from.
What? Yeah, you say what?
Okay, 5 seconds. Is there any group that would like to volunteer, or any person, if it just went on your like to go first?
We'll go first.
Yeah, girls.
Our piece of news is from a magazine, and it's the U.S. increases military aid to Ukraine.
And what do you hope the creator was hoping to share with you on that one?
That Joe Biden and America sent over $800 million in military aid to help Ukraine fight against Russia.
Good. Is that like entertaining?
It's informative.
It's informative. They wanted to teach you something probably good. And what did you take away from it? Did you get information? Did you understand it? Did it give you information?
Yes, more informed.
Yes.
What's happening in America.
Got some numbers in your book.
Yeah, you guys are
All right. Good job. Let's give them a clap. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I know my. You'll hear me clapping if you ever go to anything that I'm at that I'm hearing. I don't know, spirited cheerleader.
Yeah.
I actually got that award.
Go team.
Okay, who's next?
Oh no, they lost it.
We'll come back to you.
I touched the wrong button.
How about the two of you? You want to go?
Sure, we looked at the 4th of July.
Please listen.
We looked at the 4th of July for this year, Winter Point. We think that their goals were to inform us and share a little bit about Winter Point's 4th of July, and they did the job because we learned about some of the stuff that happened.
Got a gorgeous picture collage. Awesome. Give them a hand. 1, 2, 3. Good job.
We'll give them next.
Who's next? Did you find it? Okay, go ahead.
Ours is about this Instagram page, the Little Miss, like, you know, the ones that say that stuff?
Yeah, Little Miss Sunshine is like the classic Little Miss. I
Yeah.
think.
Little Miss one.
Which ones were you checking out?
The Little Miss, what do I say?
What do I say?
Little Miss, what do I say? So what do you think they're trying with that website on Instagram or that page on Instagram? What are they trying to share?
So, like, they're trying to make us laugh and do.
Yeah. And what did you take away from it?
I related to
You did, and
I relate to him too.
great. All right.
Good for
Who's next? Oh yeah, give him a clap. 1, 2, 3. He's getting better. Would you like to know?
No.
It's quick. You can this way.
Go. Who's next?
I don't know everyone's name, of course.
Brett and
Casey, kids should have been on yet. You're not in a group.
Who's the next group, guys?
We can just go around.
Yeah.
Corner?
So we found an article about Greenland ice loss. Ice loss that was like published an hour ago. So.
Oh wow, so current. Very good. And is it scary?
It says Greenland's ice loss will raise sea levels by nearly 1 foot by two. How would you say that?
2,100.
Yeah, 2000.
Oh, okay.
21 zeros.
So
Yeah.
what were they hoping to share with you?
Just inform you to make sure you don't
And what did you get out of it?
go away from Greenland.
You what?
Go away from Greenland.
Yeah, Greenland's not the only place, probably.
No, I think
Unfortunately. They might be the only place reporting on it this hour, but it won't take long, I'm sure. Did we get the corner?
Yeah, bring
It's okay. Why don't you, I'll help you. I'll help you figure it out.
Serena is like doing her last final slam.
I heard that, actually. She's retiring.
Wait, what?
Serena Williams?
Oh.
She's doing her
What about
last
Venus?
tournament.
Yeah, come on.
And what did you get out of that? What was the creator trying to, message they're trying to give you?
To tell us that.
Yeah, some information about Serena, because she's kind of famous and people care.
Look,
And then what did you take away from it?
I know.
Did you know it before you read it? So, you're informed. You learned something good. Wow.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Good job. Okay. Did we get you on the board? I can't remember, sorry.
Were you part of this group, Brett?
Oh,
Yeah, I was,
Oh, you did? Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, and then last one.
So we did there's an Apple Watch Pro rumored to have a new band priced at $1,000.
Just the
I-
band?
So I
Okay.
just was really confused, but it looked interesting. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is this made of, like diamonds and gold and beautiful? Is there
I
a
don't
picture?
know.
Did it say anything or a picture? Ooh. Yeah, you definitely want to read more about it, right? It doesn't look that fancy from the band. So now we want to learn something about it. So what were they hoping?
What I see.
Just to inform everybody about the new Apple Watch.
And maybe they're even trying to shock you a little bit, right, with that number?
Well, and another thing, maybe, how many of you like read fashion or, that's where I see it mostly. And then there's a link, so then there are affiliate links, and if you would click on it and buy it, they get a commission.
Oh, right.
So anytime an article links to a product, like to Amazon or somewhere, not only are they trying to inform you, but the more people that buy that product off that link, they make money.
Even like, I get emails from it's like a nerdy teacher,
Yeah.
like librarian lady. She always has links to books, she has links to like activity cards, like if you're doing an activity with hands-on with kids and you need to buy like 3 different things from Amazon, there's always links in there for that, so.
So she makes money
She's
for
getting
that.
a little kickback on all of those links that she puts in there, so. Awesome, you guys did an amazing job. We need one more clap. 1, 2, 3, good job. All right, our Next activity, this is the video that I created with the ed puzzle. I didn't create this video, but I added an ed puzzle element to it so it would slow it down and kind of give you a chance to like think about what Jay Smooth is talking about. I cannot forget his name because he's got like a really smooth head and his name is Jay Smooth. So I'm introducing you to Jay Smooth. I think he's going to probably be the narrator for the upcoming videos that you watch.
Do you need this on, do you need my computer, or do you think it's?
Yeah, I think I should switch.
Okay.
In Classroom, Mrs. McCoy puts a link to an ed puzzle, and as you're watching it, it'll pause along the bottom wherever there is a little teardrop. It looks like a little teardrop mark, and that will have a place for you to write your response, or in your notebook, you can just put your notes.
So you probably want to,
Have a pencil handy?
and do they?
And you need your Chromebook
And you
open.
need to open that.
I think it'll just help because sometimes it might be, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be fine up on the screen, but you can all log into it.
You have to leave early. Oh, on your.
Oh, for charging. If it does, I think it'll be okay. Some of the last links I put in there are just notes, so we'll be paused and you'll have a chance to write it down. But everybody needs a pencil because you're gonna need this for page 1 of your textbook that you're writing today, so.
Okay, we're going into live mode. Ready for live mode, okay. We're sharing my screen. Tell your student, can you see it?
It's a mountain. I think you just have to do the connecting.
On a big page here. I think, yeah. Is it coming up?
Oh, that's, I think I did it right there. Oh, yeah. See your cursor going on here. Yeah, just to take the.
And then, do you guys see, if you clicked on the link, are you in a puzzle?
Yeah.
So you don't have to put in a code or anything there. And just start live mode. Okay, and one thing, before the end of class, I'm sorry to interrupt with this, I need 2 people who can commit to working at the volleyball concession stand. That is part of the media contract that you have to sign up for different, so during the varsity game, it's just the varsity game on Thursday night, so be thinking about that. Okay, but then we need 2 other people for this week. And then you're not signing up for every game, you're signing up for just this week, but if we could get everybody to do one. But, okay, start live mode.
Okay.
So.
We got one person so far. Their
Right,
name
we got
is
it.
like,
What am I doing?
I don't
I'm in it.
do that.
I'm in it.
How did you get in, Jason?
tell us.
You just join. Go through you have to reopen the link through Classroom.
In your classroom, you just have to refresh probably,
So
right?
if you go
Oh, yeah,
back
if
to
you
the-
started-
Yeah,
that's
right.
Awesome.
You guys had these views? No one's ever done that.
Oh, so this is your, we're hoping it works.
We're all kind of.
We're taking a risk.
I'm gonna cheat it, it's not a good game.
So you'll be watching it up there, but answering it on
Emma and
here.
Isabel are they here?
And then, no, they're not here, so we're good. Sorry.
I'm good.
All right, here it comes, so get ready. Make sure your computer is.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Jay Smooth, and this is Crash Course Media Literacy. For the next few weeks, we're going to take a deep dive into media, how we consume it, how we create it, and how it impacts our everyday lives. Before we get started, do me a favor and think. How many hours did you spend consuming media today? Oh,
Okay, that's you.
Definitely 40-hour day.
No way.
Just today, literally the whole house cost $338.
Any media, that could be anything.
Like read something, like even if you look at something.
Someone was reading to you, you were reading a book, that's media.
Yeah, this is media. If you had reading day, that was consuming media.
Already been with me for almost like a half an hour and you've been doing like magazine searches. Did you text anyone
I don't
today?
even know, I'm like 4. I can't have my phone.
So even like in between classes or anything? No, okay, I don't know exactly.
I'm texting them. Otherwise I'll
Some people do text in between classes.
But I guess the media too.
Text is media, yeah. You're sending something, it's
Okay, then
digital
I-
media, but it's media.
It's 4 plus hours.
Yeah, there you go.
And that person, you're encoding a message and they're receiving it, so they're trying to get a message from you, so that's statement. And that's gonna be kind of cool, because you're already doing something, so you can't lie when it's what you're doing. Okay, ready? This is just a number answer, so let's continue. Maybe I did it wrong.
Continue.
Okay, we got 17.
Don't worry, I'll wait. What'd you come up with? 2 hours, 3, 5? If you're the average U.S. adult, today you spend upwards of 10 hours watching TV, listening to the radio, surfing the web, scrolling through your phone, or checking out awesome educational video series on YouTube. That's over 40% of your day. If you're a teen or tween, you spend a little less time, maybe 6 to 9 hours. Never before in history have humans spent so many waking hours consuming media. Since it's taking up more and more of our time each year, it's important that we understand its influence on everything we do. Now, when I say media, I'm talking about a couple different things. The literal definition of media is the plural of medium, or multiple mediums, so to speak. And a medium is a substance or method in which something is communicated. It's the vehicle for a message. Books, films, paintings, songs, TV shows, poems, video games, magazines, podcasts, music videos, newspapers, web forums, coupons, email newsletters, tweets, straight-to-DVD sequels, receipts, traffic signs, both good and bad, street art, Snapchat stories, those word of the day calendars your aunt always buys you, protest signs, embarrassing but cute childhood photos you post on Throwback Thursday, breaking news push notifications that give you a mini heart attack, sex ed pamphlets about your changing body, and my Blu-ray copy of the second highest grossing film of all time, Titanic. Those are all media.
Question. So now you've heard quite a few various types of media. What are your top 3? You don't have to choose from this.
No, but they don't have to be from that list.
That's
the
just
top
getting
3
you.
you use.
You might only have time to put like 2, because we've got to keep looking along on this.
Definitely.
Are you surprised that you've actually been, did you walk in today and read a sign when you came into the school?
No.
Yes? Did you listen when they told you what was for lunch? No. But those are all types of media that you, whether you like it or not, you were exposed to them. And 9. Even if you can get one thing on there that's a type of media that is your favorite type. 2 more. Oh yeah.
When you think about it that way, it makes sense that we spend so much time consuming media. Whether you're at work or school or just hanging out, chances are you're almost always interacting with some sort of artifact of communication. As a culture, we often stick a V in front of media to refer collectively to mass communication. It's an umbrella term we use to talk about the widely distributed newspapers, TV channels, websites, radio stations, movie studios, and more that create or distribute information, like CNN, the New York Times, NPR, Disney, or YouTube. Whether you're talking about media as in multiple mediums or the media, and during this course we'll be talking about both. The ability to navigate the media is a powerful and crucial skill. Media scholars refer to this skill as media literacy. As a field of study, media literacy comprises and overlaps many different theories and subjects, from critical thinking and psychology to linguistics and ethics and technology. In this series, we'll be using the definition of media literacy that's used by the National Association of Media Literacy Educators. And
National Education of Media Literacy Educators created the definition that we are using for the term media literacy. Is that true or false?
Give him 50-50 shot of that fits.
Mrs. McCoy actually has all the, so that's what we're using her, so she'll have your results.
He talks too much.
He does, that's what I mean, that's, I was like, first I was like,
That's one of the reasons I added the closed captioning too.
and yeah, and the pauses, don't worry, like I'm not expecting you to take notes on anything that isn't already marked up for you, so, thank you, good.
And it describes media literacy as the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, create, and act using all forms of communication. Now with this...
Okay. No, you want to write those down?
I lost my pencil.
Did my,
Do we have it on our phone?
I lost the notes. I screenshot it.
I still have it.
Yeah, it's still up on our...
It's yours so you can write those down before we try to take it back.
Can I have it?
Oh, it's not up there. If I like it, so we're.
Otherwise, you're not, I mean, you get to right now.
Basically, where'd yours go?
Did I accidentally exit out of your?
I just keep going back to that.
I've only tried live. But I don't think you're going to.
No, I was just gonna touch the line and move it down. But I don't know if I'm gonna be up.
I think you might.
Do you wanna close some tabs? I don't know.
I mean, I don't care.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, we had our thank you cards yesterday for basketball.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
There was no lines, and so my writing, I'm literally just like throwing it
It's
and then
like
we had-
going down.
We had the return addresses of envelopes, and I wrote them on the wrong side. And I wrote them upside down, so like the cards are.
Well, it feels like I can just go to this spot on mine.
I had like 8 of them that way.
You probably put like your fresh stamp instead of the top one chocolate.
Great.
I did. Oh, but it's upside down.
Yeah.
I like the cards, and then I'll just put mine in, and then still wrote it here. So it's upside down.
He's wearing blue on my.
Sorry, guys. We're just gonna watch
I think it's still, I feel like they're up. And look at the orange socks. I love they're both wearing blue.
We can stop it, like where we
Yeah.
make the.
Me too.
Is this for a little cartoon?
Yes, I'll be bringing, I'm actually giving you one too.
For the educators. And it-
Okay, we got that.
and it describes media literacy as.
Okay, you got those?
Yeah.
That's
Wrote
important.
those down right on your notes.
Because you're gonna end up in the final days creating your own, so I'm
What
gonna make
kind
sure you
of
know what's
content were you absorbing, and how did you get to it? Were you making sense of this message?
Still keep your notes handy, because I'll have you write them in this.
Was created
So it'll still
by
stop
someone
reading,
with
but I
their
have to
own
skip it.
goals and opinions? When you create media, like a blog post or an Instagram, what is your responsibility to those who view it? Finally, what do you do with all that info you just received? With media literacy skills, you'll have the power to think through each of these important questions every time you pick up your phone or flip on the radio. It'll be like putting on a pair of glasses for the first time. So eye-opening, you'll never want to take them off, which is great because you won't actually be able to take them off.
Okay, that's where I pause.
It doesn't go to the
Why is it critical for you to learn media literacy skills?
We don't have that question.
I know.
We're just gonna
Yeah,
talk about
answer
it since we can't.
Yeah, you don't have it on your screen, but just keep your notebook open and write this down.
I'll write it.
Why do you think it's critical? Or did you just say, I know it's kind of abstracted, but. What have you decided about media?
Teaches people something.
And it's pretty much everywhere. It doesn't always teach you things that are real. Sometimes they make it up and then you're like, wait, what? Is it real? Is it not real? If you have critical skills, you're able to critically analyze and say, should I go and believe this? Should I research it further and make sure it's not just, made up, untrue stuff? I just think the main gist of it is that media literacy is surrounding you all the time, so it's good to have critical skills for it.
It'll be hard to look at media the same way. So actually, I guess media literacy is more like laser eye surgery, but way cheaper. Okay, media literacy lesson number 1. Understanding the difference between media messages and media effects. Media messages are the values and ideas that are promoted by the media, the things that get put into them. Media effects are their influences and consequences on audiences. But talking about media in terms of these inputs and outputs is way too simple. Media doesn't just broadcast one easy-to-understand message straight into our brains.
And readers and viewers don't just agree with whatever they say and move on with their lives. The creators' experiences and environment affect everything they create. Their messages are filled with tons of baggage. And we consumers have our own baggage too, which determines how we react to and interpret messages. Media scholars, cultural critics, and plenty of other very smart academic types have long understood that we need to think about messages and effects in a far more nuanced way. For instance, take British sociologist Stuart Hall's theory of encoding and decoding, popularized in 1973. Hall wrote that before a message is distributed, it is encoded by the creator during its production. The message the creator wants to send is written in a code of sorts using a host of pre-understood meanings, symbols, and definitions that they think or hope the recipient will understand. But the recipient, that's you, has their own mental dictionary full of meanings, symbols, and definitions. When someone interprets a message, they decode it by applying their knowledge and experience to decipher its meaning. When I say encode and decode, I don't just mean a secret code you use to talk to your friends or Morse code. As Hall would say, all language is coded. Let's go to the thought bubble to break this down.
This
Say
is
you're
really
texting your
useful
significant other about
description.
where to go for dinner. You just heard about this fancy French restaurant that's supposed to be super romantic and perfect for a date. So you say, let's do Maison de l'Amour, kissy face emoji. You're doing a little encoding here. You use the restaurant's name instead of fancy French restaurant because it sounds more impressive and makes you look cool for knowing a little French. You throw in a kissy face emoji to turn up the flirtatiousness. But also notice you say do instead of go to because since you're already talking about where to eat, the activity you're doing at Maison de l'Amour is implied. Done. Send. They respond, okay, crying, laughing emoji. Wait, what does that mean? Did you say something wrong? Do they not want to go? Are they just so stoked for this restaurant that they're laughing maniacally? Do they want to break up? What does this mean? Here, you're trying to decode this mysterious message using what you know about the English language, emoji, and your significant other. Maybe some social anxiety is working its way in too. Either way, you're thinking that clearly your romantic gesture was poorly received. But perhaps all they meant by the crying, laughing emoji was they'd love to go, despite your super cheesy taste in restaurants. They encoded their message too, but something got lost in the decoding.
The main thing about decoding and encoding was what I had to do in the beginning. What was the point of this person? What were they trying to do? Like our comedy example, it was just trying to make you laugh and it succeeded. So that's basically what the decoding and encoding is supposed to try and help you understand that. It's not as complicated.
Do we want to just start up at this point?
No.
Do what?
What?
No.
For tomorrow?
Oh, I'm talking to Brooke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wondered, but like, if the bell's gonna ring, do you want to just write this time down?
Actually, my
Do you want to start?
Just a minute, just a second. Okay, guys, but I do need the 2 volunteers for the varsity to work the concession stand for volleyball and tennis.
These are this one sentence. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
No, I meant like we'll start at the class tomorrow with and finish it. Yeah.
Great.
It's like a weird, gotta take that off.
Okay, I need, who can sign up to work the varsity game? You have, like, I'm gonna either have to, have you volunteer or I'm gonna have to assign people.
Are these ours?